Guys, what an absolute year it's been for hip-hop festivals. To kick off the year, we had Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign doing a bunch of their vulture listening parties. And in my opinion, these listening parties were literally vulturistic. Like, you were paying hundreds of dollars to go watch Kanye West dance around the stage without touching a microphone, just playing his music on the aux. And then they dropped Vultures 2, and if you thought Kanye not performing his music at live events was bad, then Vultures 2 was even worse. He literally wasn't even rapping on some of these records. He had AI vocals doing all the work for him. But then he moved to Tokyo, and I don't know what's in the air in Tokyo, but it revitalized Kanye and brought back that old Kanye that we've been waiting for so long. He started doing concerts in China and South Korea. He finally remembered what a microphone was. He picked one up and he remembered that he was the GOAT. He ripped through 70+ song set lists full of all his greatest hits from each and every one of his albums, and he announced that he's working on his new album Bully, but he's been quiet for a while now ever since. And in Kanye fashion, it wouldn't surprise me to hear that he scrapped the album. I hope he doesn't, because the songs he previewed at these live events sound great, but he's definitely known for canceling albums.
The album was coming out on Saturday. It didn't come out. What happened?
I didn't finish it.
And even canceling himself.
I see good things about him also.
But aside from Kanye, early in the year, we also had J. Cole's Dreamville Festival. This festival came just a week after he released his Kendrick Lamar diss track titled 7 Minute Drill. If you guys remember, he was the first one to kick off the entire battle after Kendrick Lamar sneak diss both him and Drake on the song Like That, where he rapped "F the Big Three, it's just Big Me." Even though those shots were mainly directed at Drake, J. Cole took it on himself to defend Drake and be the first soldier to step foot within that battle. But he quickly removed himself from it, as on that Dreamville stage, he stopped the music, and when everyone thought he was going to give us a live performance of his diss record 7 Minute Drill, instead he announced that he hadn't been sleeping well at night. He put himself in a position that he didn't feel suitable for.
So I'm so proud of that project, except for one part that make me feel like, man, that's the lamest shit I ever did in my life, right? Y'all heard that bazooka that was dropped on the motherfucking game, right? For the first time I was tested. Why am I tested? Because I got the world and I got my niggas like, what you gonna do, Cole? It's wartime. I was conflicted because I know how I feel about my peers, these two niggas that I just been blessed to even stand beside in this game, let alone chase. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, the past 2 days felt terrible. It let me know how good I've been sleeping for the past 10 years.
And instead of performing that diss record, he announced that he was gonna take it down from streaming platforms. He apologized to Kendrick Lamar. He stepped out of the battle and called Kendrick Lamar one of the greatest rappers of all time.
When I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that don't sit right in my spirit. Trying to find a little angle and downplay his greatness. I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest to ever touch microphone? Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct? As do I. So I just want to come up here and be like, that was the lamest, goofiest shit. And it made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. I pray that Kendrick really didn't feel no way, and if he did, my chin out. Take your best shot, I'm gonna take that in the chin, boy, do what you do.
Then, after Kendrick Lamar defeated Drake with Not Like Us, he celebrated by putting together his own mini festival, which wasn't necessarily about him, but instead about his entire city. It was titled Ken and Friends Present the Pop-Out, and he brought out everyone from the West Coast. DJ Mustard did a set. He brought out multiple acts, including YG and most notably Tyler, the Creator. And when it was time for Kendrick's set, he brought out all his friends. He reunited Black Hippie, bringing out J-Rock, Schoolboy Q, and Ab Soul. He started the show off by performing Euphoria, and he ended the show by bringing out Dr. Dre, who introduced the song Not Like Us.
Don't say nothing else before, we continue to party?
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna just need a moment of silence for this. I see dead people.
Which Kendrick would then go on to perform 6 times, bringing out everyone from the West Coast on stage as he performed. Everyone from YG to DJ Mustard, Roddy Ricch. You had SZA in the crowd in disguise, so her ex-boyfriend Drake wouldn't see her dancing to all of Kendrick's diss songs. You had LeBron in the crowd, whose wife was trying to stop him from dancing to Not Like Us. You had DeMar DeRozan on stage with Kendrick dancing to the record, which prompted Drake to then start beef with DeMar at a basketball game a few months later. And he basically united a bunch of gang members on stage who previously didn't get along to celebrate a unifying moment within the city. And after that legendary performance, Kendrick announced that he would be doing an even more legendary performance in a few months from right now, for the Super Bowl halftime show, which had the entire music industry shaken up. Instead of congratulating Kendrick, everyone complained about the fact that it should have been Drake's mentor Lil Wayne who took the Super Bowl stage in his hometown of New Orleans in 2025, saying that Jay-Z, who chose the headliner, robbed Lil Wayne of that position. Then Lil Wayne would go on to do a festival of his own where he would seemingly agree with everyone's sentiments, as after he reunited all his former Hot Boys members on stage, he took the mic and said that the opportunity of performing at the Super Bowl was robbed from him, but that no one could rob him of that very opportunity of performing at his own Lil Louisiana Fest.
That moment I said to myself, I want to be on stage for the Super Bowl one day in front of my mom. And I worked my ass off to get that position, and it was ripped away from me. But this moment right here, they can't take that, man. They can't take that from me.
Now, less than a month later, we get quite possibly the most legendary hip-hop festival of 2024, which was the 10-year anniversary of Tyler, the Creator's Camp Flog Gnaw Festival. Now, if you guys didn't know, Flog Gnaw backwards spells Golf Wang, which is Tyler, the Creator's brand, and his longevity is insane to me. This is the 10th year he's been doing this festival, meaning that all the way back in 2014, he put together his very first festival. This was way before Tyler, the Creator was the massive mainstream act that he is today. And you could see the difference in his star power, the rise of his star power, just by the comparison of the setlist of the first Camp Flog Gnaw Festival 10 years ago versus the lineup that it has today. Way back then, the biggest headlining act was Pharrell Williams. He also had Freddie Gibbs, Rick Ross, Mac Miller, all of his Odd Future Wolfgang collective on stage with him, except for Frank Ocean, which we'll touch on very shortly in this video, because did he make a surprise guest appearance at this year's festival? Stick around to find out. But this year was on a whole other level. Aside from the surprise guests who we'll touch on shortly in this video, the lineup included the likes of obviously Tyler, Playboi Carti, Andre 3000, Daniel Caesar, Sampha, Doechii, Kaytranada, DJ Mustard and Friends, Denzel Curry, and many more. And we're going to break down this entire festival in this video, starting with the strangest name on the set list, which had an asterisk next to it, which was FM Mood. But FM Mood isn't actually an artist, just like Tyler, the Creator naming the festival Camp Flog Gnaw, which backwards spells Golf Wang, FM Mood backwards spells MF Doom. And this FM Mood performance was a tribute set to the late legendary rapper MF Doom. And if you guys haven't heard MF Doom's music, then you're doing your ears a disservice. He's given us classic projects like Mad Villainy or Food. And if you're a fan of Tyler, the Creator, then you know how much inspiration he has drawn from MF Doom's style that came before him. There would be no Tyler, the Creator without MF Doom. Tyler's whole rapping style and persona share MF Doom's penchant for unconventional lyricism, offbeat humor, and alter egos, with Tyler often citing Doom as an inspiration for both embracing creative freedom and crafting layered, avant-garde narratives. Both artists excelled in blending complex wordplay with distinctive production, although Tyler adds a more emotional, introspective edge to his work, while MF Doom leaned into more mysterious, comic book-like storytelling. There's even a video of Tyler and Earl Sweatshirt meeting MF Doom backstage.
Peace. A lot of my own y'all niggas. Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
Like snap on your mouth and shit. Trying to get the money like Earl is trying to get a right straws in this bad world. Alright. Word. Y'all is ill too, man. You guys are wild. You know what I mean? Not as wild as y'all. I'm trying to keep up.
And I'm not sure if Tyler ever actually got to perform with MF Doom, but if he didn't, it's great to see him still honor his legacy by doing this tribute set. It featured a live orchestra, a performance from Erykah Badu, and an appearance from MF Doom's go-to producer, Madlib, who, again, if you guys haven't heard Madlib, your ears are being done a disservice. And aside from that, the concert was packed to the brim. There must have been at least 60,000+ people in attendance for the Camp Flog Gnaw Festival, which is crazy because I did a video on Tyler, the Creator's beef with Chris Brown way back in 2011, and I showed a clip of Tyler and Frank Ocean dissing Chris Brown at one of their shows back in 2011, and that concert maybe had like 500 people in the crowd. So it's safe to say that Tyler's now in that upper echelon of hip-hop megastars like Travis Scott, like Drake, like Kendrick Lamar, who are not only doing their own festivals, but are performing for stadium-sized crowds. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Tyler's Flog Gnaw Festival had a much bigger crowd than J. Cole's Dreamville Festival just earlier this year, which adds more weight to the discussion of if Tyler has now replaced J. Cole in that conversation of the big three. But otherwise, when you walk through the festival doors, people were passing out missing person signs which had Frank Ocean's face plastered all over them. I mean, people have really been waiting 10+ years to see Frank Ocean perform live with Tyler, the Creator again. But aside from Frank, the guest appearances were the best of the best. Alchemist had a set where he brought out Earl Sweatshirt and Vince Staples to perform The Caliphate. I don't know if I've ever seen that song being performed live before.
With cheese and check the rest, police and check your facts. They APC, they just treat Caesar, had to laugh at that. We never told this B-boy post for rolling back the back. Soon as I check, they scat.
Very underrated duo. There was also a diner called Food, which was also in tribute to MF Doom, the same name as his album title, which featured food like beef wrap and deep fried friends and rap snitches, knishes. You also had a set list from Andre 3000, who was playing the flute. And it's crazy to me that this guy really got nominated for the Grammy for Album of the Year with this flute album. I said it in another video, like, this was just a huge slap in the face to hip-hop by nominating the only rapper in this category who didn't put out a rap album. Like, yes, Andre 3000 is the GOAT, but he didn't say a word on this album. It was all just him playing the flute. There were too many good rap albums that came out this year to nominate this instead, but that's a story for another day. Even with him just playing the flute during his set list, people were still moshing out to the sounds of his flute. He also started trolling the crowd back by channeling his inner mumble rapper and saying whatever the hell he was saying here.
Everybody, I want to let y'all know, from the bottom of my heart, everything I just said, I completely made all of that shit up. Y'all should have saw y'all faces. Y'all was like, man, he's saying some deep ass right now.
He did also announce that he'd be dropping new music in 2025, which is amazing. Let's just hope it's not solely flute music.
And I would wonder, what does a Andre 3000 vision board look like going into 2025?
New music for sure. Yeah, new ways to distribute and express. That's kind of, I don't want to pinpoint what it is, but I just want to express more. Put it like that.
And he also linked up with Nardwuar for an interview. And if you know Nardwuar, you know his interviews are legendary. So I think this is their first link up, and this will undoubtedly be a legendary interview. Then you had a set from Playboi Carti, who brought out The Weeknd. They performed their Timeless record together. And it's interesting to me, I feel like there's more hype for albums like Tyler's that came out recently, or even Playboi Carti's, than there is for The Weeknd's album. And The Weeknd is supposed to be a much bigger artist than either of these two. But drop a comment if you're waiting for that Weeknd album. Playboi Carti also performed Earthquake for the first time in a while, if he ever has performed it. And I like most of Playboi Carti's music, but I don't see the hype in his live performances. I mean, I understand that it's about the energy, it's about the rage, it's about the mosh pits, but I'm tired of seeing rappers get on stage and barely perform the actual song. Again, this was one of my biggest gripes with Kanye this year, who would get on stage and just let the aux cord play all his music. But that would quickly change within the festival when Doechii hit the stage. She put on an insane performance, and between her feature on Tyler's album the multiple Grammy nominations that she just received, the massive critical acclaim that she got with her mixtape this year, Alligator Bites Never Heal. It's good to see her finally getting the respect that she deserves, and she got even more of it on stage when she brought SZA out as a surprise guest. If you guys didn't know, both Doechii and SZA are signed to the same label, TDE, which also used to be the home of Kendrick Lamar. And with the two TDE princesses sharing the stage together, it was cool to see SZA give Doechii her flowers, as she said that Doechii is the future and the present. And it's going to be insane to see the impact that her debut album finally has. And speaking of impactful albums, we finally had Tyler, the Creator, perform his Chromacopia album as he closed out the show. And it's insane. The album's not even 1 month old, but people were singing these songs word for word. Tyler also brought Doechii out to perform their new record, Balloon. He also brought Daniel Caesar out. He brought Schoolboy Q out to perform possibly my favorite song off his new album, Thought I Was Dead. And then he went into an insane a cappella of the final verse off that record.
I was a young man and a nigga hit 30. I was at 1 mil and a nigga hit 30. You ain't Coco Golf, you can't serve me. Niggas running their mouth, keep it airtight. I got a big old head. I ain't like these niggas. I like the farm with the lakes. I like some truth in my space. Y'all niggas friendly and fake. That's big bro. How? When y'all met yesterday, this shit still Planet of the Apes. Why am I filled with this hate? I got freedom in every way. They want to take what I got, but they do not got what it takes.
He also brought his fellow Odd Future member Earl Sweatshirt out on stage, and Earl gave Tyler his flowers.
10 years though? 10 years from the fucking shit across the street from the thing? Come on, bro. Give it up for y'all, baby, bro. Come on, bro.
Along with MF Doom getting a tribute set list, the White Titans of Hip-Hop, Action Bronson and Alchemist paid their respects to the late Mac Miller during their set list.
Rest in peace, all our fallen brothers.
And I can't emphasize enough how electrified the crowd was, singing records off Tyler's Chromacopia album word for word when the album hasn't even been out for a month yet. Now, aside from that, the funniest moment of the entire festival came during DJ Mustard's set, who, if you guys didn't know, was the producer of Kendrick Lamar's record, Not Like Us. I mean, Kendrick Lamar literally starts the record off by saying Mustard on the beat. So it's fair to say that Drake probably doesn't like the guy too much. Mustard was even in the Not Like Us music video and accidentally wore a Toronto Blue Jays hat while shooting his scenes, but he's emphasized that he has no problems with Drake and that wasn't a diss towards Drake. However, during his set list at the Camp Flog Gnaw Festival, he was definitely doing some trolling as he started off by playing Drake's song Crew Love with The Weeknd. And if you guys don't know that song, The Weeknd starts off the record with his verse and the chorus. The song was actually The Weeknd song originally. Drake had discovered The Weeknd back in 2011 and stole a bunch of his songs to put on his Take Care album. So before we had Quentin Miller ghostwriting for Drake, we had The Weeknd's basically saving all his best records for Drake. But yeah, as DJ Mustard played this record, many people thought he would get into Drake's verse, but he let The Weeknd's part play, and as it was about to hit Drake's part of the record, he yelled out "Psych," and then he transitioned into Kendrick Lamar and Future's record Like That, the same song that kicked off this entire beef.
Yeah.
He also capped off his set by performing Not Like Us with visuals of Kendrick Lamar, Nipsey Hussle, and other LA staples plastered on the wall. And he had the crowd singing this song word for word.
That sound good as a mother.
I mean, if you want to talk impact, if you want to say that Not Like Us isn't played outside, it's been pushed down our throats, they were paying for streams, the success of it is not authentic, then look no further than this performance. Kendrick Lamar wasn't even there. It was literally just DJ Mustard playing this record on the aux cord the same way Kanye did at his Vultures listening sessions. And the crowd is singing every last word. And this has got to be the most destructive record to ever impact another rapper. Like 60,000 plus people are yelling that you're a certified PDF file, are yelling OVO, are yelling 69 God. Like, how is Nike gonna do an OVO collaboration after the entire world has been singing OVO for the last 6 months? And it doesn't look like the momentum is slowing down in any capacity, as you could tell by this crowd. Without Kendrick Lamar even being there, they're chanting every bar word for word. Now, you could make the argument that Tyler's fan base just does not like Drake. And I would say, if I was Drake, I'd stay far away from Tyler, the Creator, and anything that he's got any hand in. If you guys don't remember, 5 years ago, at the 5th annual Camp Flog Gnaw Festival, Tyler, the Creator brought out Drake as the surprise guest for the final night. And on the set list, it was being marketed as there would be a surprise guest for the festival. And even way back then, many people thought that it would be Frank Ocean that would come out with Tyler, the Creator, to perform. But unfortunately for them, it wasn't. It was Drake. And Tyler, the Creator, personally handcrafted the entire set list for Drake. He picked all of his favorite records, the records that aren't performed a lot, the B-sides like Feel No Ways. But the crowd couldn't care less. They were literally booing Drake to get off the stage, to the point where they were so loud that Drake literally stopped his performance and said, if you guys want me to, I'll keep going. But like, if the booing continues, I'm just gonna, take the hint and get off the stage. And as he threatened to leave, some girl in the crowd literally yelled, finally.
Like I said, I'm here for you tonight. If you want to keep going, I will keep going tonight. What's up? If you want to keep going, I will keep going tonight. Well, look, it's been love. I love y'all. I go by the name of Drake. Thank you for having me.
And it's just crazy to me that even without Drake's presence there, even without Kendrick physically being there, the aftermath and the impact of this battle still weighs deep on hip-hop, with DJ Mustard trolling Drake throughout his entire set list and the entire crowd showing which side they're on. I mean, I don't think if DJ Mustard played Family Matters, it would get half of the response that he got by playing Not Like Us. And it just shows you that the impact of this record still lives on. It's still bigger than ever. People are still playing this record, singing along to this record. People say Kendrick Lamar dragged this whole thing on, but he wasn't even there. And people are still reacting like this. Meanwhile, Drake hasn't caught a hit since. And again, if I was Drake, I'd stay far away from anything Camp Flog Gnaw related. Unfortunately, Frank Ocean never made an appearance 5 years ago when Tyler brought Drake out. And he didn't make an appearance this year when people put missing person signs all over the entrance. But it's great to see Tyler's legacy being celebrated. It's great to see him perform his Chromacopia album and people chant it word for word. It's great to see tributes to legends in the game like Mac Miller and MF Doom. It was great to see surprise guests like The Weeknd, SZA, and Schoolboy Q. Doechii getting her flowers is great. Andre 3000 playing the flute is not so great, but people were still moshing to it. And you guys let me know in the comments, has this been the best hip-hop festival we've seen this year? Was Chromacopia the best album of the year? Are you still bumping Not Like Us? These are the important questions, so let me know and I will catch you guys in the next one.
There's a lot of little nuggets in both of their disses that if it wasn't for these breakdowns, and salute to guys like this, Rapaholics, because I think they directly get it.